We're going to talk about these things today because we don't really talk about these things in education. We don't talk about business things. We don't talk about KPI, key performance indicators. We don't talk about those things. And we don't really talk about brand in preschool. You're like, we just show up, we love kids, we send them home, we tell them about Jesus. That's what we do, right? But really and truly, you do have values and you do have a culture, and that creates your brand. So employer branding, you guys do have a brand, and all it is this. It is the process of promoting the organization as a great place to work to the kind of talent required by the organization to live out its mission. Do you guys have a mission for your preschool? Does anyone know what it is? It's somewhere. It's on the website, right? But it's somewhere. It's probably something to do with like loving kids, teaching kids, nurturing them, raising them up in faith, some things along that lines. But I want you to think about this. As Doxology Early Learning Center, what is your secret sauce? What's your secret sauce? What makes you so special? Why are you here as many years as you've been here with the same leader that you have with a wait list all the time? Why is that? What's your secret sauce?
Love.
Love? What else? We love. We encourage. I hope we like each other. So you have a secret sauce. Look at the children still playing with their balloons. So you have a secret sauce, but your talent attraction strategy, and all that means is when Laura needs to hire a new teacher, that teacher is going to look at you guys and say, is this a place where I really want to be? The talent attraction strategy, and it should display exactly who you are as an employer to the talent that you want to attract. Who can tell me why you chose to apply for a job at this school? Why did you choose it? You heard good things about it. What good? Community. It's like a sisterhood. You know you're going to get support, right? You look around, you see kind faces, and you're like, these are my people. These are my people. We have fun at work, right? We have a lot of fun at work. But I talked about the estrogen cloud. And sometimes when we are intent on going to work and having a great day, somebody can just hijack our happy really quickly, right? So let's talk about the women who we might find in the estrogen cloud. The first one we have is Bitter Betsy. Now, Bitter Betsy, she is the one, and you may have met Bitter Betsy before. Her husband left her many years ago for her much younger neighbor, and she is still as mad about it today as she was 30 years ago. Everything that she does, sadly though, it flows through her bitterness. She had a really difficult heartbreak. I mean, that is sad. And to mourn the loss of the love of her life for 30 years and to carry that burden, that's a heavy weight, isn't it? But sometimes what's in Betsy's heart comes out. And she doesn't mean to be grouchy, y'all, but she is sometimes. Just because her heart just needs to be loved. But all we see is there's Bitter Betsy, and she's not really fun to hang out with sometimes during the day. And then we have this chick, Gossipy Gail. Now, I will tell you that because my life has been spent in the estrogen cloud. Before I started doing Stretch and Grow, and that's been since 1998, I was a school teacher, and then I have a family of all women. So I've lived my life in this crazy thing we call the estrogen cloud. That one is the one that causes more damage than anything else. And do you know what is crazy? We actually get an endorphin high when we gossip. There is a chemical response in our bodies that when we're not in a healthy mindset, that can make us happy to spread gossip. And that is not what God intended for us to be. That's not how He intended. But this is the one that can really, really cause some issues. And then, if you're old enough to know, does anyone know who this is?
Yes.
Who is it? Mrs. Kravitz. Yes. If you're old enough to have watched Bewitched, you'll recognize Mrs. Kravitz. She was the nosy neighbor. So sometimes Nosy Nancy gets into everyone's business. And you know who Nancy's best friend usually is? Gossipy Gail. Because she goes and finds out all the juice and all the scoop, and she spills the tea to Nancy spills the tea to Gail, and then it's all over the place. And then when Bitter Betty gets a hold of it, and then she sees it through her lens, woo, it's trouble. And then we've got whiny Wendy. Y'all. She has the worst kids, and she has the worst class. And her life is it's just sad. And all y'all have it better than she does. Everybody does. So that's whiny Wendy. But who we wish we could hang out with more is refreshing Renee, right? Renee always has something great to say, something happy to say. When Renee runs into bitter Betsy, she never says, "How are you?" You know what she says? "What's good today?" And Betsy goes, "I don't know what's good." So these are all of the people who might work at a school. And so I want to just warn you, beware of the culture vulture. Because if you're trying to create the community that you wrote on your balloons, where you want to be supported, where you want to be encouraged, where you want to be loved, where you want to feel like you're a part, where you have community, where you have support, we have to be very careful not to let some things that are in us, and we all have ugly things in our heart. Y'all, I think probably every single one of us in here could say in any scenario, we all could have been any one of those people, right? Now, hopefully we'll wake up in the morning and we'll strive to be more like refreshing Renee, because everyone loves to be around her. But sometimes seasons are hard and we go to that bitterness, or we go to that gossip, or we go to just focusing on somebody else's drama because it makes us feel a little bit better about our own drama if we don't have to focus on someone else's. So that is an intentional way of thinking about your culture, okay? The next thing I want you to think about is your brand. So we're going to choose brand words, and I'm going to show you what the Stretch and Grow words are, because y'all are familiar with Stretch and Grow. Can we get a shout out for Stretch and Grow? My girls love being here, y'all. You are the coveted school. They absolutely love to be here with you and your kids. So that is a big, big compliment to you guys for what you've created here.